You have a massive race build up, experience the roller coaster of highs and lows of the race itself. Then nothing. It all stops. You can't even get straight back into training as you know your body needs to recover. Sudden feelings of emptiness, a void, and a complete loss of purpose. Welcome to the post race Comedown, or more formally known as post competition depression. Today, you're going to understand this phenomenon, and by the end of this video, have 7 strategies to mitigate against post race blues. I'm Luke Pryor, a psychologist, ultra runner, and founder of the Endure Performance Team, a free community where dedicated runners explore human behaviour and peak performance. If you're aiming to elevate your running this year, be sure to check it out through the link in the description. We focus heavily on mindset alongside providing coaching, support, and a community to help keep you on track to achieve your goals. Now, it is worth noting that post-race depression is something that affects many athletes. So know that you're not alone in this. After months of intense training, planning, and focusing on that big race day, it's no surprise that the days following the event can leave you feeling a bit down. But why is that? Let's start with the science of it all, the neurochemical changes in your brain. During a race, your body releases adrenaline and a host of other neurochemicals. That surge of energy that helps you push through the toughest moment. But once it's over, there is a sharp drop in adrenaline, leaving you feeling physically drained. Alongside that, endorphins, those natural feel-good hormones that help reduce pain and boost mood, also take a nosedive after the race. So that euphoric feeling you had during the event, it's gone. And without those high levels of endorphins, your mood can naturally take a dip. And then there's dopamine, which is a major player in your brain's reward system. While you're racing, your brain's getting that hit of dopamine, reinforcing your focus and motivation. But after crossing that finish line, that dopamine drops, can leave you feeling unmotivated and even a little bit down. On top of the neurochemical changes in your brain, your body is also dealing with physical fatigue of what you've just put it through. Your muscles will be sore, general fatigue is going to leave you feeling a little wiped out. If it's been a long ultra marathon, your body is going to be in a massive sleep debt as well. Naturally, when you're dealing with all of this, it's going to be harder to keep your mood up, possibly a little more irritable and grumpy than usual. Guilty of that. Thankfully, this all should start to recalibrate within the first few days post-race. Then there's the psychological aspects. After all that build-up and anticipation, it's easy to feel a sense of loss once the race is over. You've worked so hard for this one big moment, and when it's over, there can be a real sense of what now. Whether or not you hit your time or finished where you wanted, you might feel disappointed or frustrated. And if you're someone who really tied their self-worth to that race, the letdown can feel even stronger. Research also suggests that the more our identity is tied to our sport, the more likely we are to experience depression when we can't engage in our sport, be it injury, retirement, or perhaps post-race recovery time off. Races also tend to bring people together. There's a sense of camaraderie with fellow runners, friends, and supporters. But once the event is over, that social atmosphere can disappear and you might find yourself feeling disconnected or isolated. From my experience, you go through such a high during the event, do this wild, crazy thing, it's hard to express or communicate to other people what that was like. So it's when I get back to everyday life and I return to work, etc., it feels as if the colour in life has been dialed down slightly. The rush is gone and my body and mind is struggling to adjust to the ordinary daily routine of life. Thankfully, we tend to be pretty resilient and bounce back pretty quickly from this. However, some people don't, and if these symptoms last longer than 2 weeks, then please reach out for professional help. Seeking out a psychologist for a deeper level of support can be one of the best decisions you'll make. There has been research into post-Olympic depression for athletes, and in my opinion, that is a little different than post-ultra trail race depression. The Olympics are a massive build-up over 4 years, and many athletes have trained their whole lives just for that one event. There's also a huge fanfare, fame, and celebrity-like focus on the athletes during the Olympic period. Regardless of positive performance or negative performances, Olympic athletes must find a healthy way to integrate that experience into their future selves. For a lot of Olympic sports, there's also a large gap in competition post-Olympics. There is definitely an area that needs more focus and attention and care to Olympic athlete well-being. However, for us trail and ultra runners, with the rapid growth in the sport, we can be back out racing in a matter of weeks if we are recovered, healthy, and motivated too. Don't necessarily recommend rushing back into races, particularly if you're wanting to look at longevity in the sport, but I do wonder then, if it is for us endurance athletes, is it more to do with the psychological aspect, the craving for routine, structure, goal-directed behaviour, and the sense of purpose that training for a race gives us, in conjunction with the biological component and daily dose of endorphins we get from running. That brings up another important point to think about: exercise addiction. It's not spoken nearly enough about in our sport and can have serious consequences on athletes' well-being. Your awareness of any exercise addiction tendencies are likely to be more prominent during periods of less training, like post-race recovery, for example. So be kind to yourself and keep an eye out and reflect on your relationship for the sport we love engaging in. We want you to enjoy the sport for a long time, not a short time. And this is why developing the ability to switch off and rest is really important for endurance athletes to manage. So how do we deal with and manage post-race blues? First, let's normalize and accept that in the first few days post-race, you're likely to be sore, tired, and mentally and physically exhausted. Regardless of your race result, you have well and truly earned that fatigue. Plus, with the knowledge you have gained of why we experience post-race blues, you can understand that the next couple of weeks, your body is going to be recovering, not just from a physical perspective, but from a brain chemistry perspective as well. This understanding helps us foster more compassion for ourselves and what our amazing body just went through. So be kind to yourself as you normalize and accept this recovery period. The worst thing we can do here is to become stressed and anxious about feeling real flat and low post-race. This will only add another layer of distress and potentially hinder our recovery further. Second, let's celebrate your achievement and, more importantly, the effort you put into your race. Celebrate all the hard work, the sacrifices, blood, sweat and tears that went into your race preparation. Please reward yourself. Treat yourself in some way. You do deserve that. Lean into reflecting on your race, soaking up all the energy and positive vibes you went through during that experience, the lessons learned and all of that good stuff. Try and avoid looking for what's next before you really enjoy the epic thing you've just done. So look after your mind and body. Take care of your physical body. Focus on sleep, good nutrition, gentle recovery strategies, and most importantly, try and de-stress. Get in some relaxation of sorts. Allow yourself to unwind mentally and physically. Give yourself full guilt-free permission to switch off and relax. Number 4, you've made significant amount of sacrifices in the build-up to this race. Lots of time and energy goes into these big events. So take this opportunity to focus on some of the other areas of your life that you might have had to sacrifice. This could be spending more quality time with friends and family, non-running related hobbies, learning something new, maybe a small project around the house that you've been neglecting. By doing this, you give yourself a soft goal to focus on. Nothing too serious. Maintain lots of flexibility with your goals in this time, but it gives your mind something else to think and feel good about. Number 5, a significant amount of emotional investment and energy goes into preparing and racing events. In this period of less training, whilst you recover, reconnect with your why, your values around your running, and start to daydream and loosely plan for the next big adventure. This can help you feel productive and start to stoke some of the excitement for the next fun adventure. You don't have to do this step, but you may benefit from a complete break from anything running related. And if you feel that way, then it's best to listen to that feeling and give yourself permission to switch off from anything running related for a designated time period. If this is more you, then remind yourself you're far more than your running identity. Disconnect from Strava or any other running related social media for a period of time and reconnect with other aspects of yourself, other interests, hobbies, and things that make up who you are. Number 6, stay connected to your community. Don't isolate yourself. Even do something crazy and catch up with your running friends and do a non-running related activity. Or just ditch them for a few weeks and catch up with non-running related friends and family. The point here is to keep socially engaged. It's the best mood booster we have other than exercise, of course. So embrace the social butterfly in a few weeks post-race. 7, and lastly, now this is the key, especially if you've struggled with post-race blues in the past. Anticipatory coping strategy. Knowing what you know, and perhaps from past experiences, make a plan pre-race of how you will manage in a few weeks post-race. How will you celebrate your efforts on race day? Create a list of people you want to catch up with, the activities and hobbies you want to engage in, and book some of that in. Is there a book or movie that you finally have time to enjoy? This will help remove the empty void we can sometimes feel post-race. And if you've got a plan around that, then you're going to be much more equipped and better to handle the dip in biochemistry and the lack of structure and endorphins you get from running. So there you have it, post-race blues. It's a combination of biological, psychological, and emotional factors. The physical depletion, neurochemical shifts, psychological letdown, and loss of routine all contribute to the sense of sadness and depression experienced after a race. While these feelings are temporary for most people, acknowledging and addressing the causes can help alleviate them more effectively. If you'd like further help and support with this, then please join the Endure Performance team. I can work with you privately, one-on-one, or you can access our free 8-week mental skills for endurance athlete. Don't hesitate to reach out for support. I'd love to help you out. Thanks for watching, and see you at the track.